Once you get your Florida real estate license, you have to find a broker to work for. It's not hard to find a broker, but it's hard to find a good broker. In this video, I'm going to tell you how to find a good real estate broker and what you need to consider to be sure you're making the right decision. I'm Karen Climer in Orlando, Florida. I own Demetree School of Real Estate. I'm a third-generation Florida real estate licensee. Keep watching and I'll tell you what to consider when you're deciding where to begin your real estate career. It's important to understand that your relationship with your broker is different from other jobs you may have had. You are not an employee, you're an independent contractor. When you go talk to the broker, he's not trying to fill a role the way a restaurant manager is trying to hire a bartender. It's not going to cost the broker money to hire you because he isn't paying you a salary. In other words, the tables are turned a little from a typical job interview. You are deciding what brokerage you want to affiliate with. The broker's trying to convince you to join his firm, not the other way around. Now, that doesn't mean you should show up wearing jeans and a t-shirt and blow this off. You need to give it the seriousness of a job interview, but treat it like an interview where you are the interviewer. Now, I'm not suggesting you show up with a list of questions to interrogate the broker. Just have a conversation. But what I want you to understand is that you need to know what you're looking for in a broker and find a broker that meets your needs. This is your business. I'm going to tell you some of the things I would want in a broker, and you can modify them to meet your needs. First of all, can you meet the broker? Your initial meeting will likely be with the sales manager, and that's fine. But do you have access to the broker? Will you ever physically see the broker in the office? There are a lot of cloud-based companies where you never meet the broker. You wouldn't even know the broker's name if you didn't look it up. Is that where you want to work? Or do you want to work at a place where you can call the broker on her cell phone, where the broker knows your name when she sees you in the office, where you can ask the broker directly if you have a question? The second thing to consider is training. Do not underestimate the importance of training. And remember, not all training is created equal. When you're starting out in real estate, you need rock solid foundational training. That should be one of the most important, if not the most important criteria. Let me say that again. When you are starting out, training should be the #1 criteria in selecting your broker, far above compensation. Does the company have a formal training program for new hires? Or is it a situation where the broker says, "If you need anything, I'll be glad to help you"? If it is that situation, does the broker have time to help you? In my experience, if there's not someone at the company whose job title is trainer, you probably will not get training. The person who says, "Oh yeah, I'll be happy to train you," doesn't have time to train you because they have their own job to do. There are some exceptions to this, but by and large, I found that to be true. So find out if the company has a training program for new agents. And once you finish the new agent class, will you have a trainer or coach to help you through your first few transactions? Will you have someone to talk to when problems arise? How much does the training cost? Will the company reimburse you for it? Does the company reimburse you for training that you take outside of the company? A lot of brokers don't like to pay for training up front, but they will reimburse you for it in your next commission check, which is the perfect segue to compensation. Ask the broker how much money you can make in a year. His answer should be crystal clear, not vague and ambiguous. He should be able to show you what you need to do to make a certain amount of money. If he asks you how much money you want to make, a good goal would be 150% of what you made outside of real estate. For example, if you made $30,000 last year, tell him you want to make $45,000 this year. If you made $50,000 last year, tell him your first year goal is $75,000. Once you tell him that number, he should be able to explain the path you need to take to make that much money. Commission splits in a company can range anywhere from 50-50 to 100%. I'd say try to get better than 60-40. That means you are getting 60%. But don't focus entirely on the commission split. There is so much more to compensation. Some brokers charge a transaction fee or franchise fees or desk fees. Fees aren't bad and lower commission splits aren't bad. They're just part of a larger picture. The most important thing is to be sure you understand the larger picture. Here's how you can do that. Ask the broker, if I sell a house for $100,000 and the commission is 3%, what dollar amount is on the check you will hand me? Ask every broker you talk to the same question, so you can compare apples and apples. Don't let them change the numbers on you. Use the same price and commission rate with every broker. Then ask him, what if I sold 20 of those houses or 50 houses? The reason to ask about 20 houses or 50 houses is because you need to find out if there's a maximum amount that you have to pay the company. There are a few ways you can negotiate this to your benefit. The simplest and the most beneficial way to you is to have a cap on what you pay the broker. For example, let's say you have a 60-40 split with the company. Once you've paid the company maybe $25,000 for the year, you get 100% of your remaining sales. If they don't want to do that, maybe they'll offer a maximum for the month, so you'd start back at 0 on the first of every month. If the company is not willing to cap it, you could try something like this. You have a 60-40 split, tell them you want 85% on the third deal of each month. Not the fourth and the fifth, just the third. Your broker's not expecting you to have 3 closings a month, because most agents don't. But I bet if that were the deal you had with your broker, you'd be sure to close 3 transactions a month. Now let's talk about the home where you live. When you work in real estate, you can find a lot of hot real estate deals. Plus, you'll be making more money, so you might want a bigger house. Ask for 100% commission on the home where you live. 100% when you're buying or selling your home. Not on your other houses, not on your rental property or investment property, just your home, your primary residence. Don't forget to tell the broker you want a referral commission on all listings you abandon when you leave the company. Let's say you're with Great Big Realty and you have a listing that expires in 4 months. When you leave Great Big Realty, that listing stays with them. It belongs to the broker, not to you. That's the law. Now you might say, it's just one listing, it's not that big of a deal. But what if you have 20 listings, 30 listings, 40 listings? Ask your broker today, when you first sign up, to give you a referral commission on all listings you abandon when you leave. You can't ask for this when you leave, when you have 40 listings. The answer will be no. But if you ask for it now, you can get it. Ask if you get paid for recruiting. If you convince sales agent Sam at the brokerage next door to come over to your company, do you benefit from recruiting him? Do you get rewarded as a one-time bonus or for as long as he's with the company? And does that money come out of Sam's commission, in which case he isn't going to want to come, or does it come from the company's portion? Ask the broker about expenses, because not paying certain expenses is a lot like getting paid. Who pays for advertising? Who pays for copies? Who pays for postage? Who pays for technology tools? Who pays for E&O insurance? Who pays your realtor dues? Who pays for your training? There's no right or wrong answer to these questions, but it's part of your compensation. Too often, new agents focus on the commission split and the monthly desk fee, and that's it. You can have an average split and a ridiculously high desk fee and still be better off because of other factors. Be sure you're looking at the entire picture. And don't forget to find out when you get paid. In Florida, you can get paid at closing if the broker directs the closing agent to cut you the check. I think that's a good system. Or maybe the broker gets the check but pays you the following day. That works too. Or maybe the broker gets the check and pays you on the one day of the month he writes commission checks. I don't like that system. Find out when you get paid. Another factor that differs wildly among brokers is the technology tools they offer. Technology is so important in sales, and it is becoming more and more important every day. Technology also costs a lot of money. You have to pay for a CRM, an email marketing program, drip campaign programs, web hosting programs, lead generation programs, listings on all the websites. These expenses can really add up. Does your company provide any of this? If so, is it free or do you have to pay extra for it? And do the tools the company provides work for you? Or are you going to have to pay for something else that actually works? Do not underestimate the importance of culture. Real estate is a competitive business, but I want to work in a cooperative environment. I want to work where people are genuinely happy, not jealous when I succeed. Other people, though, prefer the cutthroat environment. They figure it's rough out there, so it might as well be rough in the office too. Just know what you're getting into. Some sales managers and brokers are actively selling real estate. In other words, they are aggressively competing with you for business. In other companies, the sales leaders and brokers are no longer in production, which means they're focused on running the office and helping you succeed. Both ways work. It's just about what makes a better environment for you with your personality, your values, and your work style. Consider this about work culture. You will make more money with a bad commission split and a good culture than a good commission split and a bad culture. Why is that? Because you'll sell more houses in a positive culture. You will sell more houses when everyone at the office has a vested interest in a common goal. You will be happier and more productive when the office culture is to be happier and more productive. So do not underestimate the effect the culture will have not only on your well-being, but also on your paycheck. A part of culture is how the company views their relationship with you. Some brokers are convinced that they bring more to the table than you do, and they require you to sign a non-compete agreement. Do not sign a non-compete agreement. I can't emphasize that enough. Do not sign a non-compete. There is nothing that any real estate broker provides that is worth signing a non-compete for. A non-compete is something that says when you leave our company, you cannot work for any other real estate company in a 50-mile radius for a certain time period. Do not sign this. There is absolutely zero benefit to you and 100% benefit to the broker. You will eventually leave that company and not be able to work for a few months to a year. And don't kid yourself and say non-competes are unenforceable. I have seen them enforced and it is never pretty. And don't forget, even lawsuits that you win cost you a lot of money. I hope this video helps you in finding your first broker. If it does, please leave a comment and let me know which tip you found to be most helpful. And if you have any other questions about how to find the right broker or how to get started in real estate, please give me a call. And I mean that sincerely. Give me a call and I'd be happy to talk to you. Again, I'm Climer with Demetree School of Real Estate.